Sorry, I'm going to get you on here as a cheeky peach. Thank you again, my amigo. SSJ2ASHARI. And also, guys, if you don't know, it's 50% off subs as well, guys. So if you're resubbing new subs, it's only going to cost you $2.50, half price, until the end, near the end of the month. Blueberries are like high in antioxidants. It's so healthy. They are. I actually eat a lot of blueberries in my diet. I usually, for some mornings, I usually have like wash a handful of blueberries, bit of oats, almond milk, maybe some dried unsweetened coconut in there as well. So I always like kind of mix it up. I always change it up every day, so it's not the same thing. So yeah, it's always nice to kind of change things up and have something different. But yeah, I do eat a lot of blueberries. Hey, Rifle Tomb, what's up? Good day, Chef, and how are you? I'm doing fantastic. What have you been up to, my friend? How was your weekend? Did you have a nice weekend? I hope so. Right, I'm gonna have a little touch of Marmite in this because I want it to be a little bit more richer. Be right, need to change out my job hunting clothes. No worries, Oreo. No problem at all. It's wonderful, but often blueberries do need something like sweeten them. The classic here is to just do like a sweet crumble bottom. Pour blueberries on top, add some sugar or vanilla sugar, cook it like that, serve with vanilla sauce. Yeah, with like a custard. We've done blueberry and apple crumble, usually like a kind of a British one. We've done in the past, or I've done in the past before. But yeah, a blueberry like kind of tart sounds different. I've never really dabbled with it. Sounds nice. Right, little touch of Marmite, not too much. Give it that richness. Delightful, delicious. Holy moly, it's hot. Well, it's certainly not going to be cold, is it? Oh, that's pretty damn tasty right now, guys. Right, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Just going to let that cook down a little bit more. Might need to add a little touch more milk into it, but that's fine. There we go. Marmite's mixing in now. We'll add that touch of saltiness, richness, and that umami kind of flavor going on in that sauce right there. So that's kind of the consistency I was kind of looking for, the coating kind of consistency. So that's looking good. If I need to adjust it again in a sec, I will. No problem. My weekend was great. And I'm good. Just starting college for like cooking a couple of days ago. Oh, fantastic, Rival. I hope it all goes well. If you do need any help with anything or with any of the work or any ideas, just feel free to PM me. I'm more than happy to help out if you need any help, my friend. But I hope it all goes well with the learning. Highly recommended. Yeah, it sounds good. I'll definitely give it a try out at some point. Let me write it down in my phone, because I say like I want to do these ideas and things, and then suddenly I just forget about it. So there we go. So pumpkin scones, blueberry tart, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it pretty much. You know the pumpkin scones? Do you know what I could do with the pumpkin scones? And it's just come to my head. Such a nice idea. What I could do with the pumpkin scones is actually turn them into little pumpkins. What do you mean, Chef? Well, when I cook them, right, I'll do the scones. I'll put some orange gel dye in there to make them like orange. What I'll do is turn them into like little scones. We'll bake them. Oh, sorry, switch cameras so you can see what I'm doing. So we'll bake them, and then we'll do like a little green stump on the top, and then I'll carve a little hole in the middle of the scone so it looks like a carved pumpkin when it's a carved pumpkin scone. I think that's a nice little touch. We'll do that, definitely. That's a nice little idea we can do for next month. Feel much better now? Awesome. Welcome back. My dress clothes like to choke me. Yeah, sometimes if you're wearing a tight suit, you'll be like this. I know the feeling sometimes. Sounds like fun, for sure. I'm the same way. Remember, 2 years later, I was like supposed to do it. Yeah, you got to write things down. It's really important. Doesn't matter what you're doing. I always find like writing things down really helps. Right, this is thickening up very nicely because it's cooking out that flour. So I'm gonna add a little touch more milk. Well, the past couple of days was like computer training to help get resume set up for my apprenticeship. Oh, really? Well, I hope that's all gone well for you and you've got that sorted. But But yeah, if you need any help with the cooking side of things, more than happy to help out, amigo. Oh, sorry, trying to reach for the milk. Rightio, so just add a little glug of milk more to this, which I'll switch over so you guys can see. So just add a little bit more milk in there, just to loosen it up, just a little bit. We don't want it like super thick. I'm just going to let that kind of tick over on the stove in the back. If we need to add more later on, we can do, but that's pretty perfect to me for what we want. So let's turn that on to a really low heat. Turn that off. Keep an eye on it. If I need more milk later on, I can sort that out. Not a problem. Right. So that's the sauce done. Let's flick over. We can get on with the rest of the dish. So probably pan in now, because we can start getting stuff together. Spinach is washed. The garlic sauce is made now, so that's on the stove, ready to go. We can start panning in the cordon bleu. Will do. To be honest, I want to learn anything new and anything I don't know already about cooking. I want to soak all the knowledge for cooking into me. Dang, that knife is beautiful. My Kyoko knives. Little mushroomy, but it's okay. But yeah, these sponsored knives that we got on stream. And if you're looking for some good quality knives, it comes in a set of 3, and you can get a 10% discount. 10% discount code off on the knives as well. But yeah, when you're learning, even if it's like a dish, you're like, oh, I already know how to do that. Try and think of like, say you've like kind of, okay, you mastered the basics of a dish, right? But then you watch somebody else do it, and you're like, oh, I don't need to watch this, I know how to make this. Actually watching somebody how they do it in a different way might actually give you an idea like, oh, that's different, I like that. Or, you know, it'll always help improve your knowledge, looking at other people's like point of views or people's ways of like how they cook it. So even though you might know the basics of one dish and you think, oh, I don't need to learn that, it's always worth watching everything, because you never know what you're going to learn. You never know what you're going to learn. Right. Bonsoir. Hello, Lap. How's it going? How you doing, cheeky chap? How's your cheeky day going? I hope it's all going well. And how you doing, my friend? It's lovely to have you here. Right, so what was I going to do? Oh yeah, panny the chicken. So we're going to get the cordon bleu out, ready to go. So let's get our chicken. Let's get the flour, egg, and breadcrumbs sorted. Where's those bowls I had? You know what? Do you know what would be really handy? They're not big enough. They're a little small. I did have my 2 bowls, and I don't know what I did with them. I'm pretty sure they're probably in the fridge. Oh yeah, I can see them. Oh yeah, I used one for the ham and the cheese, didn't I? Ham and the cheese. Where's the other one? It's probably somewhere. It's okay. I'll use something else. I will use... good point. What will I use, Chef? Well, I'll probably use this one. I'll use that one. Little short on bowls. Little short on bowls, I think. Oh, I tell you what I could actually use, just to make life a little bit more easier. Got one over here. I know it's a little bit big, but that's fine. Just so it doesn't get a little bit too cramped in there. There we go. That'll do. Okay, so let's put that back. And we're going to get the rest of this panade now, so get the chicken out. It's a flour, egg, and breadcrumb. I'm fine, and I'm doing fantastic. Making cordon bleu, chicken cordon bleu today. We're also doing a zucchini or courgette spaghetti with a mushroom and garlic sauce coated in there, and maybe just a little bit of spinach at the end, just to keep it nice and bright and vibrant. Washed off the spinach, it's on the sink, so it's just draining off very nicely. So a nice little cheeky dish to do today. When it comes to like pickling cabbage, what do you do for it? Like I usually use like red wine vinegar, teaspoon of sugar. It depends, I suppose. Red wine vinegar would be great for the red cabbage. I don't usually use red wine, but it is a good one. Sometimes cider vinegar is really nice. I quite like using that. And sometimes I use honey. Sometimes if you don't want that kind of, especially if you're not cooking down the liquor, right? With granulated sugar, sometimes you'll just have, it won't sometimes not dissolve down properly, and you'll have that like kind of graininess to it. Whereas like if you use honey, you don't need to kind of really cook it down too much. But I guess it's all down to personal preference. And yeah, I've used sugar and vinegar mixed in with the cabbage. But sometimes my pickling choice of cabbage, I usually do it quite light and last minute. I don't let it pickle for overnight because you'll lose that crunch or that texture unless you want to do that. That's fine. So I usually use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little touch of cider vinegar, and I sometimes add a little touch of honey. That's my kind of preference, but everyone has their own preferences. Right, flour, egg, and panko crumbs. So let me put the egg in here. I'll put the flour in the first one. Just make life a little bit more easier. Oh, am I making too much mess? As always. Right, perfect. Also want to give this flour a bit of seasoning. I will season the chicken breasts on the outside as well. You will have a little bit of saltiness with, say, the cheese as well. So, and I will turn on the oven as well, ready. Not quite yet, because we need to fry it up as well, so we got time. We got time today, guys. Right, okay, eggs. I'm going to go for two. 2 delightful eggs. Excellent. Oh, got my legs. Oh, I got mango puree left over from last week. I'll use that for breakfast tomorrow. That sounds good. So 2 little cheeky eggs. Perfect. Let's pop them back in the fridge. I was like looking at the strawberries. I was like, what's the strawberries for? That's for tomorrow. Tomorrow I might be a little bit late because I'm getting my internet line ripped out tomorrow and a brand spanking one put in outside. So they're redoing the overhead lines. I don't know how long that's going to take tomorrow. So I might be a little bit late tomorrow. If the stream doesn't happen, I will redo this dish the week after. I'm just trying to get this internet issue sorted, which we seem to be having. So hopefully it'll be fixed tomorrow. And hopefully it'll be done before I start streaming. If it doesn't, I might be an hour or 2 late. If I don't stream, I'll let you guys know. Just keep an eye on my Discord, !Discord if you need to join it. Keep an eye on the announcement. Just type it in chat, it'll come up for you guys. If you have issues joining Discord, just let me know. I'll create another link just so you can join it. 2 excellent eggs. You got it. See, I didn't even have to say it. Right, let's give this a little whisk up. Beautiful. Let's dry my hands as well and give this a little whisk up. Thank you, Tater Salad. Appreciate it, buddy. Right, so we give it a nice little whisk. Have you ever deep fried eggs before? Yes. We used to. Funny you should say that. You're excellent at that whisking. Oh, I was waiting for it. Hans, you're very ecstatic today. You need to calm down, good sir. Getting a bit wild. Yes, we used to do deep fried poached eggs. What? So we used to like. Actually, we didn't poach them. We used to do them in a. Oh yes, we did. We used to poach them. So we used to poach the eggs, and then we used to put them in ice water. And then we'd flour, egg, and breadcrumb. So egg over egg, I know, it's a bit mind-boggling. And then double coat it with a bit more pan crumb. And then we used to put them down, drop them in the fryer, and you'd have a nice crispy egg with a yolk right in the middle. So when you cut into it. So yeah, did deep fried eggs before. And obviously the other one that kind of stands out for deep fried eggs is usually Scotch eggs. Scotch eggs you usually deep fry. For the nice little crunchy out coating and then a nice gooey yolk in the middle. Or if you don't like the gooey yolk, you just cook your egg a little bit more, you know. Right, chicken. Chicken licking. Do I need to get a pan of oil on now? Ready? I feel like that will be sensible. That will be a good idea. So, let me grab a pan, put a bit of peanut oil in there. Chef, you already made, I know, a mess on my stove. I know. Right, how's that sauce looking? Just want to keep that nice and loose. So that's good. Beautiful. I don't understand the deep frying egg process. It's very egg. Eggmatic. Oh, hands. I thought you were literally being serious until I saw that. I was like, oh, damn. He had me. He had me a good one. I haven't tried it before. I heard you can like freeze the egg, peel the shell where the yolk, egg yolk, sorry, and the whites are frozen. So like from there you can like batter it. Okay, that's an interesting one. That's a new one on me, Rival. I've never really kind of frozen a whole egg down like that and then peel it, and then I suppose you could. But how would it cook? That like obviously from frying it, it would cook though. But wouldn't you have a chance of like would the egg come out like overcooked? Or that's an interesting one, because all that's holding it together is the batter, and if you undercook it, you're ending up with pretty much chicken snot. So whereas like if you poach the egg, your whites are solid, they're firm, and your egg yolk is steady, and it's going to stay in the center. And then obviously all you want to do is just kind of crisp these up, so you've got less chance of the chicken snot, right? But doing it that way, that seems a little difficult. I don't know. I'd like to see it though. Enigmatic. That would have been better. Probably like flash frying. I guess there's got to be a bit of a balance with it, because you've got to make sure those egg whites are cooked, but also you want to keep it runny, right? Unless it's supposed to be like overcooked egg yolk. I mean, you know, everyone likes different things, but that's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Right, I'm only going to put like less than a centimeter of oil in here. I'm not going to go too crazy. So it's on a medium heat, as you can see, which you can't see, but now you can see. I've just put a pan on with the oil in it. So that's going to heat up very nicely while I pan the chicken very, very nicely. So I'm just going to switch back over, so we're good to go. Yeah, I can just put this back on the same plate. This makes no difference to me. Right, so what I'm going to do, pull the chicken off. So there's our beautiful chicken, which you can't see because, you know, things. I do want to take a picture as well, maybe just of the flour, egg, and breadcrumbs, and then, not picture, video, sorry, for my Instagram. And I want to season the skins of those chickens as well. So a little bit of salt. I'm not going to go too crazy. Those are some very large chicken breasts, yeah. Especially when they're filled as well, they look even larger. So even if you're using like a medium / kind of large chicken breast, they will look massive. So that will be enough for 2 portions each. So we've got like 4 portions there pretty much. Right. Who's got my phone? I've got my phone. Right, so look. Okay. Beautiful. Right, okay, so flour, egg, and breadcrumb. Could have done with a bigger bowl, chef. I know, it's okay. I'm a bit short on bowls today. Just a tad short. I'm just making sure that excess flour is kind of taken off. I do say you want to keep one hand wet and one hand dry, but like, yeah, it's a little difficult. Especially when you're using small bowls like this. So have you ever had a chicken so tender, juicy, to a point where the texture inside was like raw but fully cooked? Are we talking about sous vide here, right? Like sous vide looks like it's raw, but it's actually cooked. It does come out a little bit pink sometimes. But sous vide cooking chicken, I've had it before. Yeah, it kind of plays with your head a little bit, doesn't it? Plays with your head a little bit. I feel like this one's not going to stay very well, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Right, I'm just going to have to go back and forth from the sink just to wash my hands, because I'm going to have to use both of my hands for this, because it's pretty large. And I don't want to unstabilize it. Just want to make sure it's good to go. With the cloth pots over here. Beautiful. But if we're talking about like sous vide cooking, I've done it before. It's not my favorite. For chicken, that is. I mean, other things it's great for, but yeah, chicken. I feel sous vide for chicken. Thing is, I randomly cooked chicken for supper and oven roasted it, and it turned out like that. That might be on borderline of it being slightly undercooked. You just got to be very careful when you're cooking chicken like that. If it comes out pink when you're roasting it, it does need longer, amigo. You don't want to be serving that pink. That's underdone. Right. Make sure this is good. It wasn't pink. It was just cooked then, pretty much. Just cooked. So if it wasn't pink, you're good to go. But yeah, just catching it at that point where it's cooked, but it's not pink. Pink, that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be pink. Sorry, I must have misunderstood you. Alright. But yes, that's what you want to aim for. Is make sure it's cooked all the way through. But making sure it's right. I feel like I need a larger bowl for this, guys, because it's just going to be awkward and I'm going to end up ruining this. Do you know what I will do? I was going to take the cheese and ham out of that bowl that's in the fridge. Just swap it over a sec, because I just feel like this is going to be very awkward for me. So what I'm going to do... Bear me a second, guys. Just going to swap that cheese and ham over to this little bowl over here that I've got. Cheese and ham. Give this a wash as well. Beautiful. Let's put that cling film back on top. We can put that back in the fridge. Alright, bear me 2 seconds. Nice. Okay. Because yeah, trying to do it in that bowl is just going to be very, very awkward. Looking good, John. I appreciate it, amigo. It was like one of the best chickens I've cooked like ever, but it was like boneless breast. Yeah, it's just about timing, but making sure you do cook it through though is very important. So you're just catching it at the right time. Just catching it at the right time. Yeah, I felt like that was a little bit low, and I might need to add another egg to that as well, so we'll see. Thought you... Yeah, that's the traditional method. Now, this is my way of doing it, by stuffing it very nicely. So, yeah, you can hammer it out, and it comes out like a swill, right? But I'm doing it slightly different. So, if you ever... That's what I say, I never try and think of me traditional cooking. Because traditional cooking, I never do. Yeah.